Alright, we're here for the second match with Aaron Barich's Jeskai Black. We won the die roll, so let's go ahead and take a look at our opener. Alright, this hand's pretty sweet. Depending on what he's playing, we have the option to hold up for Horribly Rye on 2. And we can go Plains Island into Mantis Rider. Horribly Rye into Mantis Rider is a pretty sweet 1-2 punch. That's what I've been doing a lot in my version. Jason and Mantis Rider is also not bad. I believe Stu 55 is oh man, I forgot his last name. He's gonna hate me for this. He was commenting on my article yesterday about how Ration Cleric was bad. And hopefully he watches round 1 and sees how good a Ration Cleric was. Alrighty, well. Hold on 1 second. Cedric's gonna be mad at me. Had the border wrong? Don't worry about that, guys. It's fine. Yeah, so Open Series Spotlight, not Todd Anderson video. Yeah. Alright, well we fixed it. No harm, no foul, right? Right? Still a great opener. Still looking good. Don't really know what to say other than that. Just feel a little awkward. Don't really want to record again on my first match. Sorry, Cedric. Alright, come on, Stu. Ain't got time for all this waiting. Although technically my clock is only 20 seconds ahead of yours, so I can't really complain too much. Bloodstainmire. Alright. Well, what is he going to do? Jace could kill my guy, so we could hold up for a way to stop his Jace, so he can't go shock my guy, play Jace. I think I'm going to do that, actually. Worst case scenario here is if he goes kill my Jace, play his own, and we're stuck with, like, I mean, we still get to play Mantis Rider, so it's not like it's bad, but I'd much rather just, like, savage him with Horribly Ride plus Jace. And if he doesn't play a thing, then we just play Mantis Rider. It's pretty tough to kill, honestly. Or Soulfire or Seeker or something. Yep, get wrecked. We're going to use the Strand instead of the Delta, since the Delta can actually get red mana, and we already have a bunch of the other colors. Got 2 blue and 2 white already. So he's in a world of hurt already. Not really a world of hurt. He's just in Troublé. Battlefield Forge. Okay, maybe he's just Mardu. That would make some sense. So, empty board, we can play Jace, hold up Valor Stance, or we can just hold up for Ojutai's Command. I think we want to cast Jace, since one of the better modes in a grindy matchup is counter your guy, get back Jace. And we have a way to protect it from a burn spell with Valor Stance. We can Fire Impulse still to kill a creature. And if it's Butcher, we can just kill Butcher. But well, we don't really want to run our Mantis Rider into his counterspell. Now that we have Jace active, I think I'm just going to flip it. We'll get rid of this Valor Stance. We'll just tick up and sit back on Ojutai's Command and all our removal spells. And then if he ever makes a spot to bite, then we'll play Mantis Rider. But our hand is really well set up to play D with both Ojutai's Command and the 2 removal spells. And since we have initiative with a flip Jace, we're just going to kind of wait for him to make the first move. The old cycle gain 4. Yeah, good thing we didn't jam the Smash Rider. Yeah, we'll go for counter and draw a card, I suppose. So we'll get, what, black-red. Shambling Vent's a pretty sweet draw. I think Mana Strider here is going to be pretty good. We can also kill his Mana Strider with Fire Impulse if he has one, but same is true for ours. Yep. Jace Rooney. Alright, we'll just go ahead and burn it. I don't think we want to attack. We just want to sit back on Ojutai's command, go for a counter draw again. He's kind of stuck on lands. We don't really want to burn the Ojutai's command just to gain 4 life and draw a card. Our hand is so stocked. I might even ultimate Jace. That's how great our hand is right now. He may use a Crackling Doom just to deal 2 to Jace. How great would that be? That's so much value. So much value. Maybe if he Crackling Dooms, I'll animate my Shambling Vent in response. We'll say Shambling Vent's a sweet picture. Alright. Well, fortunately, I think we have to Crackling Doom that. I think we want to ultimate our Jace. Oh no, he drew a second blue, so now he can dig. And he's definitely going to go for dig. Because we did not dispel Ojutai's command. That's a tilt. A medium tilt, as they say. Well, this is going to take forever, this matchup. I even believe that Stu is playing somewhat closer to my version, mana base wise, from my article from yesterday. If you want to check that out, go ahead. Spent a lot of time on that deck. Well, this deck. Basically Aaron's deck with some changes, but you can read all about it. What is this? Oh, he's trying to cast a Mana Strider and tapped it badly? No, can't be that. Crackling Doom to deal 2 to my Jace? He afraid. He's so afraid of that Jace. Alright, just keep ticking him up. I got some meowing cats. Not to be confused with Nyan Cat. Or however you say it. Nyan Cat. Alright, we're going to counter this and draw a card. Hopefully this resolves. Hooray! It did resolve. Oh no! Cat is where he should not be. Alright, well, I don't think it's too big of a deal to ultimate Jason this matchup. Maybe it is. He seemed pretty adamant about not letting me do that, so play this other Jace. Don't plan on flipping it anytime soon, though. Although, if I get to ultimate next turn and then flip it, that's actually pretty great. Sorry about that. Alright, Stu's upkeep. Let's see what he's got for me. He's got 2 cards in hand after playing a land. He resolved a dig. I can imagine that he was very adamant about finding a second dig. I would be ecstatic with the first dig, because we have this Jace ready to ultimate and a Jace ready to flip. 2 removal spells in hand and another Jace. He's ahead of us on mana. It's not a huge deal, I don't think. Alright, bring back Soulfire. No! Alright, well, he's only got 1 card in hand. It's not a huge deal. Just do the same thing we did last turn. I'm gonna hold on to this Nomad Outpost, I think, in case I want to flip Jace next turn. No, I'm not gonna flip it next turn. I'll play just in case I need the mana. Okay. Maybe we'll draw a dig through time ever. Well, he's got no cards in hand, so I think I'm just gonna try to ultimate my Jace and utter end his Jace. Oh, he drew dig. Alright, we'll just dig, delve 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not delve 8, but delve the full amount. And hopefully ultimate Jace next turn. We'll just take 2 more dig through times, I think. Just kind of chain off on him. Hilariously enough, we only have 2 blue sources in play, so we can't even go ham sandwich on him. Soulfire. Alright, let's go for a decking. We're not going to be able to deck him this turn, I don't think, but we'll always yield. Ultimate Chase is great. Alright, so this matchup, I think we want a bunch of counter spells. Exert Influence is not as good as you might think. Surge of Righteousness is okay, but it's not great. Let's see. Valor Stance is bad. Ojai's Command and Dragon Master Outcast are good. Roast is not great. I think Abbot is good, but I'm not positive. Jeskai Charm's probably bad. Don't think I want that many Disdainful Strokes. It is very good at countering Ojai's Command and Dig Through Time, but those are not the only cards that matter. Let's see. I think I want the other utter end. So maybe I can trim a little on something. Maybe on the draw, the Horribly Awry is not good. We'll try that. Okay. See how this works out. I really wish there was a pause function on OBS. It's kind of weird just sitting here chatting about this Simon Says ticker. Whatever. Brought to you by Monster Energy Drink. If you haven't tried them out yet, the new leagues on Magic Online are pretty great. You don't have to wait between matches at all. Price support is not exactly where I want it to be. It's very flat. But, you know, you get to spend your tickets or whatever, join the thing, play your matches over the course of a month if you want. You can also just rejoin the same league after you finish your 5th match. Go basically infinite. What I like to do is I like to play daily events, and then between rounds I'll play league. Stu, on the other hand, likes to take maximum amount of time sideboarding. So Stu Summers, I believe that's his name. I could look it up real quick, I guess. He's talking a lot on my article this week about how Ration Cleric was bad. What a jerk. Let me check. Yep, Stu Summers. Ha! Jerk. Alright, let me fix this card image. Alright, we're on the draw, and our hand is bad. Really want another land. If I had 2 lands, this would be a Sneeper Trapper Keeper. We do get the mulligan, though, which is great. I think people need to relearn how to mulligan. I definitely did that this past weekend. Day 1, I did not mulligan nearly enough. Day 2, I mulliganed so much and was rewarded so heavily for it. I wish I was streaming right now. That way Stu could hear me yelling at him. Like, hurry up! Alright, I guess we'll keep this one. Got a spell on top. Guess I'll keep it. Probably going to lead with Jace over, probably lead with Soulfire over Jace. I assume they're both going to die, but if only one dies, I'd much rather have Jace than Soulfire survive. But Basic Mountain into Dragon Master. Yeah. Got to draw some to deal with that in the next 5 turns, I suppose. Killing me, Stewie. Don't make me call Brian. Keep you in line. That was a Family Guy joke. It was bad. I'm in the business of making bad jokes. That's why I get the big bucks. Not sure how his hand was set up or whatever, but I can't imagine that like fetching Mountain on turn 1 is correct to play Dragon Master Outcast. I mean, you get some beats in. You know, your late game Ojai's commands are going to be phenomenal. Maybe he accidentally kept a 1-lander. I doubt it. Maybe his hand was just Dragon Master Outcast and 6 lands. Who knows? We can use logic and deduction to figure these things out, while Stu uses logic and deduction to make his turn 2 play of which land he wants to have come into play tapped. He figured it out. There we go. Mana bases are pretty hard in this format, I will say. Alright, here's the bait. Kill that guy. We need to get rid of some of these lands. Yeah, he's dead. He's dead, Jim. We're about to be dead. Blue-black into Mantis Rider into wearedead.com. Yep. Alright, we need to draw like 5 removal spells and 4 dig through times. That's awkward. Can fetch a Plains next turn with Flooded Strand and then cast Crackling Doom. Really need this Jace to survive though if we want to have a chance. Well, he didn't kill it immediately and attack with Dragon Master, so I think we might be in good shape. We don't want to give him a shot to draw a counter spell here for this Crackling Doom, but yeah, so he had one naturally. I guess we could have drawn with Jace. Oh no, I'm sorry. Aaron didn't play any copies of Dispel, which I have fixed. Well, we are dead. Good to know. I don't even know what I can draw. Well, that ain't it. I guess we can dig into Fire Impulse and then flash it back with Jace. I guess we can gain 4 with Ojutai's Command and get back Soulfire Grandmaster. I guess we just want to cast Ojutai's Command this turn. We can tick up on Mana Strider. Let's gain 4 and get back Soulfire, I guess. He's not going to attack with Outcast. We want to do this while he's mostly tapped out. Because if it doesn't resolve, we might just die next turn, so... I mean, we were at 5, so we were taking actual lethal, I think. Yeah, we're probably going to lose. Suppose we could have... No, that's not a winning proposition. I'll like tick up and then use Ojutai's Command. It's not the cleanest, but hoping he just didn't have a good follow-up. But he missed at least 1 land drop, maybe 2 land drops, I don't recall. So his hand's just probably stock full of stuff. If he found a 1-mana removal spell here, it's pretty bad for us. If he found a counter spell here, that's really bad for us. Alright, well, he's sending them both at Jace. That's pretty great for me. If we had kept the fetch land over the Sunken Hollow, we actually had the potential to go land into Soulfire Dig Through Time, which is pretty sweet. Assume this is getting countered, but we desperately need to find something. Yeah, not having access to Dispel is pretty gross, I'm gonna say. But I mean that's one of the cool things about the Open Series Spotlight is that we get to spotlight not just how good or bad a deck was, but also certain card choices that could really end up punishing you for not having access to them. But the heart of the deck is great. I'm pretty sure Stu's actually just playing somewhere really close to my 75 from this past weekend, but or not this past weekend. I'm just gonna concede. We can dig, but we're going down to like 3 life. He has a dragon, so all right. I think we may want to try to grind him out. So we might just not want Mana Strider just want a bunch of Radiant Flames and just punish him. We definitely want the Horribly Awry back in on the play. These abbots just seem awkward. I'm just going to cut them. I don't really like them very much. I don't mind like one Radiant Flames, I guess. Some people are going to be like, why didn't you bring in Surge of Righteousness? Because you died to Manus Rider. I'm like, well, it wasn't really Manus Rider that killed me. It was him resolving Dig Through Time and me not. I guess technically the Mantis Rider did physically kill me. Alright, we'll just have one Radiant Flames to search for if we fall too far behind. Come on, Stu. Let's go, buddy. I kind of hope I lose. I kind of hope that the version Stu's playing is real close to mine and he ends up beating me with it. It's like, proof. Dispel and, you know, better mana or whatever. It's basically the only real difference. No abbots. Abbots kind of bad. Alright, so let's go to fix the window. Alright, another hand we are going to have to mulligan. Shelling Event seems sweet in theory. Not sure if it's great in practice. We are on the play, but I still think we want to get our black-red source into play early. Gonna keep that Ojutai's command. So I guess, yeah, now that we have that on top, we're just gonna fetch differently. So we'll just Shambling Event on 1, probably fetch black-red on 2, untap, kill a Jace or a Soulfire or something, fetch a blue-black. I will say sequencing mana in this format, it gets easier. It seems really, really hard at first. It is really, really hard at first. You make a lot of mistakes sequencing mana in this format. I'm very curious to try out more than 5 Wild Slash / Fire Impulse effects. Black mana. You got Duress? Wow, that's great. That ain't in my deck. Alright. Got me, Stu. He's probably going to take Ojutai's command. It is a very strong card in the matchup, though it is one of the things more vulnerable to Disdainful Stroke and or Dispel. I don't mind a Duress. A Duress or two might actually end up being great in the sideboard. You want a lot more proactive things to do with Jace when he flips. I mean, as you can see, like, game 1 I was able to flip an ultimate, but, like, that doesn't happen too often. I don't think. Took a Fire Impulse, huh? I am confused. Alright, well, we want to be able to maybe Ojutai's command, so we're going to play Monastery over the Flooded Strand. It's a little awkward because I do want to Crackle and Doom a Mantis Rider. But if he does a Mantis Rider next turn, like if all he does is play a 2-drop, I want to go kill that, hold up Ojutai's command. We may time him out. You never know. Chess clock. Alright. Here comes a Mantis. Yeah, maybe we should have played the Flooded Strand. He knows we have Doom, though, so he might not have cast it if we had the Flooded Strand, because he doesn't get the free damage out of it. Well, we kind of wanted to fetch a Plains. I think now we have to actually play the Plains. I'm going to main phase Crackling Doom. I mean, I don't think he's just going to play another Mantis Rider into a Fire Impulse, but he might. He might just try to grind us out, you know. Here he can cast Dig while we're tapped out, so. It's a Soul Fire. Let's try to kill it. Curious to see if he fights over this. I don't usually fight over any removal spells and stuff like that early on. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to cycle this to gain 4 and draw a card. Okay, if he plays a creature into it, he almost 100% has a Dispel. So I guess I just have to go for it. Hope that we draw like a Dig and punish him for using his Dispel. Or negate. Same thing, basically. Alright, we need to draw something big. There we go. That's what Daddy wanted. Alright, so we can go Mantis Rider, Wild Slash. We can take, actually, Disdainful Stroke, Wild Slash sounds great. Because that way, if he draws a Dig or something, he can't resolve it. If he ends up drawing something like Mastery, though, or whatever, we're in a lot of trouble. But I don't think Mantis Rider is going to be the answer. I assume his hand is just like 2 removal spells. Disdainful Stroke can counter Oshai's Command or Dig Through Time, which are 2 very backbreaking cards here. Drew the second Utter End after putting the other one on bottom. It's not bad. I do like having a couple different ways to fight. Yep, Jace is fairly problematic. I think we want to go and try to bust him up. Flip Jace is tough to beat. Yep. So he doesn't have any actual removal in his graveyard. But Fire Impulse would be expected here, I believe. But now, if he goes Flip Jace, Duress, Dig Through Time, that's going to be gross. Especially if he's able to kill this Mantis Rider. I have a feeling he has Surge of Righteousness in hand, and he just tapped his mana wrong for Jace plus Dispel. That would be pretty funny. But if the worst case scenario is tick down, Duress, kill your Mantis Rider, Dig Through Time. That is the worst imaginable. Although, kill your guy and Master of the Unseen is also pretty bad. Wonder if he's just going to tick up on Mantis Rider. Like, if he has removal spell, he'll probably go Duress removal spell. And that's real bad. But Duress removal spell, Dig Through Time is way worse. That's one thing I do like about duress in this kind of spot is that it is a proactive use for Jace, whereas counterspells are reactive and have a much tougher time getting flashback from Jace. Yep, that's the start of the end. That's what we were afraid of. Okay, he just ticked up. Alright, well, now it's our turn to get decked, I guess. He's pausing at strange intervals. Very curious what he has in his hand. Probably just like 2 Ojutai's commands. Just can't possibly win. Alrighty. See if this works. Ooh, it worked. Kind of. Alright, we're going to crack the Jace for 3. So now he has to tick down Jace down to 1 to fire impulse. Or he can just tick up and shrink it, which is also fine. But our disdainful stroke resolving there was great. I'm really glad he didn't duress me at some point off of the Jace. Silk Wrap. No! Utter end in the graveyard. No! I feel like it would have been pretty good for him there to tick down Jace, go Ojutai's command, draw a card, get back Soulfire. When I have no cards in hand, that seems like a really good play. Although, if he has something in hand like a removal spell, then doing it now would also be fine. Okay, well, he just drew another Soulfire, so that's bad. Oh, 2 Soulfires. Oh, I'm really dumb. I just forgot Shambling Vent was a thing. Could have been attacking Jace. He did have some cards in hand, though, so it was a little bit dangerous. He's probably not going to block here for fear of, like, Fire Impulse or something. Yeah, makes sense. He can, however, just tick down Jace, Fire Impulse, or Ojutai's command, or whatever. He's got a lot of avenues with his Jace. He can kill mine pretty easily with the Fire Impulse if he goes for it. Which doesn't seem that bad. He may think that you can activate Soulfire and Jace. That doesn't work. Sorry, buddy. Doesn't work. Read the card. I bet he's gonna say Moto Bug. Let me type that out. Alright, well he's attacking with both, so he's gonna let me kill his Jace? No. Yes. Okay. I guess he's only got a few minutes on the clock. We are at pretty low life, but the Shambling Event can kind of hold off his Soulfires after I get rid of his Jace. I think we are going to time him out. This is going to be great. He's going to be so mad. He's going to go activate Soulfire, cast Dig Through Time, I'm going to negate it, and then he's going to be sad. I'm actually very curious how many activations of Shambling Event I've missed this game where I could have attacked, but I was quote-unquote trying to play around his removal spell. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Alright, Dargan Master Outcast. Do your best. Or worst. Or best. See what he discards. Probably a Wild Slash? Oh man, his hand must be great. Activate Soulfire. Let's see if this works. Nope. Blowout. Alright. We are pretty dead here. That's annoying. He can't really attack though. Maybe he'll forget to take up his Jace. Alright, we need to draw Dig Through Time into Radiant Flame, I guess. Ah! I really want to time him out. Tilt. I guess he can activate Soulfire, Wild Slash, cast it again. Kill my Shambling Vent. I think we have to block. Or try to block, I guess. At least we'll maybe burn out his Wild Slash at least. So if he has Crackling Doom, that's super awkward. But I assume he's just gonna activate Soulfire and then double Wild Slash my Shambling Vent. Or maybe he drew Fire Impulse, that'd be real bad. Yep, we're pretty low here. We're at 5. We technically can't take another attack. But I don't think it's worth it to fetch here. Not yet. Well, we drew Dig. Let's see if we can get ourselves out of this mess. Huh. So we can get back Dragon Master Outcast, gain 4 life, and Fire Impulse a thing. Definitely want at least a Fire Impulse. I think we just want to do all that while he's tapped out. So get back Dragon Master Outcast, gain 4, kill a guy. He's just going to tick down Wild Slash this more than likely. Hopefully his last card is just a land. And then I'm battling his Jace and a bunch of lands in hand. So he's at a bunch. He ain't got much time left. Oh, he drew a Dig. That's bad. He might not be able to kill me this turn, though. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to kill me with the clock he has left. Maybe he will, though. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And we win! He timed out! Oh man, okay. Well, justice, I guess. In actuality, we would have lost this match, I think. I mean, that it showed you like how far behind we were at most points and how lucky we were to actually get back in the game. So winning on clock is actual just perfect. Because we should have lost, but we didn't. And yeah, someone got punished. So sorry, Stu. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. That's the second match. Let's get to the third match in just a few.